know who it is, what time it is, what it do, what it be. It's your boy Big Ghost Rider, man. Guys, if y'all don't follow the content, you know what I'm saying? This the first time. Well, not the first time. Like if
So today we'll be doing
we going live on a Wednesday. I usually don't stream on Wednesdays. It's usually Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. But if you guys didn't know, there was an election last night. If y'all give me just a second, I'm doing something real quick. As you come into the stream, will y'all please like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you guys have not subscribed, hit the notification bell. We're going to get started in just a second, guys. NTZ Clouds, what's up, baby? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. We're going to start in just a second. Whatever you guys want to talk about, NTZ, if you got something on your mind, you could put it in the live stream. It's a freestyle stream this morning. So it's all about y'all. So, guys, I just wanted to get that out real quick. I wanted to post this, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where I believe we're going to start at. I'm saying, guys, so as y'all know, the Democrats, they had an election, you know what I'm saying? Republicans had an election in the state of Texas. Early voting. It's the primary, March 3rd primary. So it's for the Democratic or the Republican nomination for Senate and various races. So we're going to see who's going to run this November in the midterms. So you guys know I've been big on Jasmine Crockett. I endorsed Jasmine Crockett from the very beginning before she even decided that she was going to run for Senate, okay? Now, while I endorsed her, NTZ Claus, you probably aware of this, I made 4 predictions, okay? And I got the predictions pinned down in the chat, okay? So the first prediction I made, and this was prior to voting ever starting, the first prediction I made is between 1.4 million and 2.1 million people were going to vote in the Democratic primary in the state of Texas yesterday. Those numbers match like 2008 during a presidential election. It's unprecedented to see 2 million people vote in a Democratic primary. And guys, if y'all follow the content, y'all know I predicted it before it happened. NTZ Claus, you could join in and you could let them know. I predicted it. And last night we seen it. Actually, over 2 million people voted. So that first prediction, I got it correct. Second prediction was that in that Democratic primary between James Tallarico and between Jasmine Crockett, the winner would need at least 800,000 votes. And I could tell you right now, it's pretty much simple mathematics. If you had 2 million people voted, then in order for you to win the election, you're going to have over 800,000 votes. That being said, Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico is going to get over 800,000 votes. So I made 2 predictions, and I'm so far 2 out of 2 correct. And the third prediction I predicted, and this is something you guys, if y'all know politics, y'all have any kind of idea about politics whatsoever. Within the state of Texas, okay? We talking about within the state of Texas, a Democrat has not won a statewide election in Texas in over 30 years. So to think that Democrats are going to outvote Republicans, because what I'm saying, if there was an election yesterday and you had Democrats and Republicans on the ballot, there was more Democrats who voted than Republicans. So that means that you would tend to think that the Democrats would have won yesterday. You see what I'm saying? So no one's going to predict that, but I predicted that Democrats going to outvote Republicans. Democrats outvote Republicans. That's 3 predictions, all 3 correct. The 4th prediction was that Jasmine Crockett was going to win the election. Guys, I should have knew something like this was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Jasmine had a lot of enthusiasm behind her. A lot of people support her. But, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Tellerico, he had been in the race since pretty much the summer of 2025. He was in the race 6 months before her. He had built the organization. The establishment had grown to like him and dislike Jasmine, or not necessarily dislike Jasmine, just think that he's a better appealing general election candidate. That being said, no excuses as of today. You know what I'm saying? Tellerico is ahead of Jasmine, you know, by about 4 or 5 percentage points. Okay. The reason why they hadn't called the election is because in Dallas, they have you got to vote by your precinct. So whatever precinct you live in, see, in most counties across Texas, you could just go vote anywhere. You know, if you in Harris County, you're a resident of Harris County, anywhere in Harris County you want to go vote, you could go vote in Harris County. It's not like that in Dallas. In Dallas, you got to vote at a certain polling location. Because you have to vote at that certain polling location, then, you know what I'm saying, it's some problems or some discrepancies or not as many votes, all this different kind of confusion going on. Make a long story short, they told Jasmine that people could vote in Dallas till 9 o'clock. Well, someone sued. I'm not sure who sued, but someone sued. The Texas Supreme Court said the polls had to close at 7 o'clock. So because of that, we don't know who won the Democratic primary in the state of Texas, and Jasmine is going to sue over it. So we probably won't know today. We might not know for a little while. But that's the last prediction that I made, that Jasmine will win. You know what I'm saying? We don't know yet if she won yet or if she will win or how that's going to turn out. But if Tellerico does win, that's the only prediction out of 4 that I made. So I'm very proud and happy in myself. If you guys haven't liked the video, y'all double tap the screen for me, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Y'all jump down in the comments, whatever you guys want to talk about this morning, relate to politics. If you guys want to talk about what I just talked about, we can. If not, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to get into it's us versus them, because I think that relates to Jasmine as well. Let me try to catch a couple of these comments, though, in the meantime. NTZ Claus also said that her base of Houston outnumbered Tellerico's home base. Her base in Dallas, you know what I'm saying? The vote from Dallas was coming in late. You know, I'm not going to say that they cheated against Jasmine or there's a conspiracy against Jasmine. I just think it was kind of funky the way that situation happened. The votes coming in late. You say they could vote till 9. Supreme Court said they can't vote till 7. And I'm saying the whole state, the late vote coming from Dallas. You see what I'm saying? So that entire situation with that election, man, it seemed kind of, you know, it's kind of funky to me. But hey, if she does end up losing the race, you know, I'll say I endorsed her and I predicted that she'll win. And if she lose, I'll take that loss. But as you guys can see down in the chat, I made 4 predictions. And 3 of those other predictions are near. It's not like a 50-50 proposition. Like if you pick Jasmine or Tellerico, you kind of don't even have to know anything about politics, elections, or anything. You could just flip a coin. And you got a 50% chance usually, generally, of winning, depending on the candidates. Between these 2 candidates, how close the election was, it's a 50-50 proposition. You saying that Democrats are going to outvote Republicans in this election, and you saying it before the election even starts. Now, that right there, guys, that's something that people can't just predict. No one's going to predict that. Not even the most seasoned political analysis. For me to understand that you need 800,000 votes minimum to win this election, or that 2 million Democrats were going to vote in a primary, I'm saying, guys, it doesn't happen in Texas. So for me to predict that shows you that I have to know something about politics. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there was some discrepancies in the race with Jasmine to where Jasmine actually could have won. She could have lost. You know what I'm saying? Tellerico's ahead right now, where it stands right now. So we just going to let the process play out. And if Jasmine lose the race and I lose that prediction, bro, I'm 3 out of 4. You know what I'm saying? I won the harder predictions. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I have to say about that. Malu, good morning, Malu. She says, y'all make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Notification bell, like the channel. Appreciate it, baby. Let's see. SBS says no, she would not have won. Maybe she would not have won. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know. I don't see how you know. But, you know, maybe she wouldn't have won. We don't know how that's going to turn out. More than likely, Tellerico's going to win that race. And if he does win that race, then, hey, it is what it is. I'll take the L. You know what I'm saying? I endorse Representative Crockett. Everything I said about Representative Crockett, I still believe it. I believe she would have won the general election. I believe she's the best choice for the state of Texas. You think about how many black voters showed up to vote, how many Hispanic voters showed up to vote. You see what I'm saying? That's what I was focused and zoned in on. A lot of Hispanics, a lot more Hispanics showed up to vote than we thought. Listen, when Tellerico said he was going after disenfranchised Republicans, down in Texas along the border, South Texas, there's a whole lot of Hispanics. It's majority Hispanics in the Rio Grande Valley, all that area. President Trump grabbed a lot of those Hispanics. You see what I'm saying? That's how he won by 14 points. I mean, the Democrats were inching about 3 points every presidential election. They were inching closer and closer. I think starting with Obama, Hillary Clinton, and then Joe Biden got within 5 points. You see what I'm saying? And then when President Trump ran against VP Harris in 2024, he won by 14 points. He opened the gap back up. That's because a lot of those Hispanics, I don't know if they're independents. People are counting them as Republicans. I wouldn't say they're Republicans. I just say they voted for President Trump. Well, a lot of those Hispanics, they're crossing back over to the Democrats. And I think Tellerico, he probably was reaching out. He reached out to them more, or however it went, they voted for him. They broke for him. And that's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? Whoever those Hispanics vote for, Hispanics, they decided the election. The black people could have decided, but they didn't show up in those kind of numbers. So it just turned out the way it turned out. Somebody say, you know what I'm saying? If y'all had liked the video, man, y'all double tap that screen for me, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Second Explosive, what's up, baby? Says Jasmine Crockett is right now saying they cheated her like they did Trump. Hey, maybe they did. Look, I'm just saying it just seemed funky that for some reason Dallas County is a county that the votes are slow to come in at. Oh, they're slow to come in because the polls opening to 9. Well, the Supreme Court stepped in after they said the polls could open at 9. The Supreme Court and said the polls got to close at 7. So I'm saying if she lose by 30, 40,000 votes, who knows? Between 7 and 9, she could have got those votes. Who knows? She might not, would have. But I'm just saying this whole situation, it just wasn't like a clean election. Why you didn't have those problems on the Republican side? I mean, you got to think about the entire situation. From when she first announced she was going to run, and you start seeing media outlets who usually support Democrats, you start seeing the establishment, they picked Tellerico. And then it became obvious to all of us, not just what Jasmine seen and heard going on behind the scenes, to all of us that the establishment wanted Tellerico to win whenever he went on the Colbert Show. We all seen it. Am I right or wrong? They were on his side. They picked a side. So why the Republicans didn't have the same problem that Jasmine and the Democrats had yesterday? Because on the Republican side, guys, Paxton lost, but it's going to a runoff. Paxton come in second place, Cornyn came in first place, and Hunt came in third place. So Cornyn and Paxton going to a runoff with Cornyn being the favorite. He won. He actually outperformed Paxton. You see what I'm saying? They didn't have no problems with their primary whatsoever. So I'm saying you seen all the tricks being played with Jasmine before last night. And then after last night, you see what happened. Like, what? I'm saying it wasn't a smooth proposition, a smooth transition. I'm not throwing conspiracies out there. I don't work for Jasmine's campaign. So it's not like I got boots on the ground in Texas and I actually know what's going on in the state. I have no idea what's going on. But if she said they cheated her, then maybe they did. Who knows? That's what I'm saying. Malu, I appreciate you sticking up for your boy, baby. Second Explosive says, because Republicans vote early and in person, Democrats vote by mail or mysteriously get tens of thousands of votes in the middle of the night. Just saying, no, that's not how this election went, though, sir. Very few people voted by mail. Very few. You know what I'm saying? So that's not how this election went. Malu said, y'all hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? The notification bell. Somebody says, y'all donate to Ghost and his liberal agenda. Respectfully, Ghost don't have a liberal agenda. But since you said that, sir, I'm going to go ahead and say, what is us versus them? That's not a liberal agenda. Let me tell you kind of what I mean by that. So say if I'm a Democrat. Let me do it like this since you say a liberal agenda. Say I'm a Republican, right? And say I've been loyal to the Republican cause. Everything Republican I believe in. I believe in cutting taxes. I believe in America first. I believe in no transgenders, all the social issues, all the way conservative, all the way Republican. My vote record's impeccable. Okay? Not only am I loyal to the Republican Party, say I'm loyal to President Trump to a fault. Say I'm loyal to President Trump to a fault. And the fault that I'm loyal to President Trump is to this. Say I go to President Trump is going through all the stuff that he went through, the felonies and everything, and say every single time those situations come up and I have a chance to use my voice, I speak in favor of President Trump. Hey, y'all, those felonies, nah, forget those 34 felonies. That's all political. Hey, y'all saying that President Trump, he did what? He said he was going to attack Greenland, man. You know, that's just President Trump. He just, the art of the deal, negotiation, he ain't taking nothing off the table. I'm saying everything President Trump did and said, I protected him and defended him. Do y'all know any Republicans like that? I'm sure y'all do. Say if I was that kind of Republican. Not only did I have my values completely aligned with the Republican Party, say I was defending and protecting President Trump as well. Y'all feeling that? You get where I'm at? I'm getting to where I'm going now. Now, say I was a congressperson, and say I went to President Trump after I've been a congressperson for so many years and say, hey, President Trump, I want to run for Senate. Now, you remember something. Remember the loyalty. Not just the loyalty to President Trump, the loyalty to the Republican Party as well. Paying my dues, paying money out of my own pocket and paying millions of dollars. And I go to President Trump and say, hey, President Trump, I want to run for Senate. It ain't no way he could tell me no. He's seen how loyal I've been to the Republican Party. He's seen how loyal I've been to him. He's seen me stick my neck out there. He's seen me millions of dollars. And guess what happens? President Trump tell me no. What do you do in a situation like that? That's what happened with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm getting where I'm going when I'm saying it's us versus them. Think about that. Think about how loyal she was to that party. Think about how loyal she was to President Trump. And she say that she wants to run for Senate, and then President Trump tell her no. She take that personal. I'm saying, why you do all that for your party? Why you do that for President Trump? Why you go through all of that, and the first second you ask for any kind of favor, expect them to return or stand with you, what happens? He tells her she can't win. What I'm saying, that's the same thing kind of with Jasmine Crockett to me, y'all. Almost the same thing verbatim. It's like the ones who go the hardest for their party. Who went harder for the Republican Party than Marjorie Taylor Greene? Who went harder for the Democratic Party than Jasmine Crockett? I'm saying, I'm sticking my neck out here. I'm going at President Trump. I'm going at ICE. I'm going at Kristi Noem. I'm going at even Governor Abbott for the Democrats. I'm going at the Republicans harder than any other Democrats gonna go after them now. That's how Jasmine got her name. That's how Marjorie Taylor Greene got her name. And I'm going after them this hard. And it's a Democratic primary in the state of Texas, and y'all saying that I can't win a statewide election. No loyalty. The Democratic voters in the state of Texas, they had no loyalty to all that stuff that girl did for that party. They didn't care. All they care about is, oh, we might have a chance to win. Why not have a chance to win with her? Listen, this is what I'm saying. You saying that Tellerico got a better chance to win the general election than Jasmine does, right? But I'm saying, who's going to make that determination? The voters are, right? Yeah. The Democratic voters are going to make the determination. The voters, it's like they don't believe in themselves. Y'all make the determination on who's going to win the election. So I'm saying, how can y'all be saying the voters are the boss, that he got a better chance of winning? You had 2 million Democrats showed up in Texas, more than the Republicans. So if it was one Democrat and one Republican on the ballot, that was in November, that means the Democrat would have won. But they don't believe that. And they don't care how much Jasmine. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying, if you got loyalty to that party, the more loyal you are to that party, loyal to a fault to that party, that's not a beneficial to you. That's hurtful to you. The more loyal you are to your party is hurtful to you. And we're seeing that now. Partisan politics. You see how loyal Marjorie Taylor Greene was on the Republican side. You see how loyal Jasmine was on the Democrat side. And she fighting for her political life right now. That's what I'm saying. So I believe when I say it's us versus them, I don't know. I think Jasmine might understand that. Marjorie Taylor might understand that. You say, who is us? Us is us. It's we. Who is them? It's the rich people. It's the people with power. It's the people who make those kind of determinations that know you're not good enough. It's us versus them, man. It really is. It's not about black or white. It's not about tall or short or skinny or fat, bro. It's about how fat your pockets, how much money you got. It's us versus them, man. That's what it's about. 8 years of Obama, and what did we get? Did we blacks get? Nothing, man. It's not about. Look, y'all say that like it. Okay, so 8 years of President Trump, and what are you blacks gonna get? 8 years of President Bush, what did you blacks get? 8 years of President Clinton, what did you blacks get? I don't think President Obama, did President Obama owe black people something that he didn't owe any other American? It ain't about being black or white. You talking about how he governing or how he did govern. Because President Obama, he did a lot of things. Like I know I've benefited a lot off of his policies. His policies on education, you know what I'm saying? Particularly as far as college goes, the universities, I benefited from those policies. His policies on healthcare, particularly, you know what I'm saying, the Affordable Care Act, I benefited from those policies. But it don't matter. Like President Obama did not owe black people something that he didn't owe every American. He didn't run to be the black president of Black America. That's what y'all misunderstand, how partisan the politics is. That's like President Trump didn't run to be the president of MAGA or his voters or his supporters. He's supposed to be the president of all America. Y'all get me confused because to run an election, I understood her strategy. Listen, I said it was 2 million people who were going to vote yesterday in that Democratic primary, and I was correct, so I knew what I was talking about. I also know that there's 2.4 million, there's over 2.4 million black registered voters in the state of Texas. I know that too. So I know between the whites and Hispanics, he's got a lead over her, but his lead over her isn't insurmountable. So you could win this whole election with the black voters. If you could get black voters, if you could turn out that black vote, that's how I think that was her best chance of winning. And how am I wrong? Forget the polls. Let's look at the voting numbers. Amongst whites, she lost. Amongst Hispanics, she lost. So what vote did she win? She won the black vote. The 4 or 5 percentage points, the 70,000 votes or so that she was beneath him. Think about that, 70,000 votes. You talking about 2.4 million registered black voters. So if she lose by 100,000 votes, you know what that means? That's 100,000 black voters who didn't show up to vote. Come on, amongst black voters, she winning them 8 and 10 of them. Within Dallas, she winning 9 and 10 of them. As a matter of fact, I think she won Dallas County by like 20 percentage points. She probably wouldn't have won Dallas County if it weren't for the black vote. Real talk. Because those counties like on that Oklahoma border, she lost them. The counties like somewhat around Dallas, she lost them. So I'm saying she could have won that primary off that vote. That ain't got nothing to do with me being racist. That ain't got nothing to do with me thinking that black people are this or black people are that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just simply trying to win an election. And her best chance of winning that election was turning out the black vote. If she loses by 60,000, 30,000, 40,000 votes, that's 60, 30, 40, 100,000 black people who didn't come vote, who, if they would have voted, she would have won. It's the best strategy. Tell me where I'm wrong. She losing amongst Hispanics and she losing amongst white people, but she's winning amongst blacks. So she needs about 33% of the vote to be black people. It's well below that. From my understanding, to this point, you know, the vote's not finished counting, so the number's going to change. That's why she lose the election. It's easy mathematics, but because you see me trying to win an election and understanding that, and her best chances of winning this election is going to the black voters, That's something completely different than me saying that once she becomes a senator of Texas, that she just governing for black people, or she running the general election that she'll just be trying to campaign amongst black people because she won't win. We see that. And I said that clearly on the live stream. So I'm not for like you saying for the black, like you act, I told you I'm not a black power kind of person. I'm not for like black power. That's not my fight. You see what I'm saying? My fight is for all Americans, for disabled Americans. Yes, for black Americans, for veterans. That's what my fight's for. It's for the civil rights. It's for humanity, for all of humanity. That's what my fight's for. You see what I'm saying? So you just saying that like, oh, yeah, what bro Obama did for black people, or you want black people. You can take it like that if you want to. That's on you. But you know how many people hate on me? How many people lie on me and talk down on me, bro? You know what I'm saying? I done become callous to it. Very callous. It don't mean nothing to me. It's completely irrelevant to me in my life. You feel that? So I don't care how people feel, man. I'm going to just keep it 1,000. You know? What's up with Iran? What's up with Iran? Malu says was one of Trump's biggest supporters, but it probably changed along the Epstein files. Man, listen, I'll say this. Malu, I appreciate that comment, baby. Like, so what happened pretty much is I was in a situation where I was waiting for some money from a government agency, good bit of money, about 18,000. I say, you know, if I get this money from this government agency, President Trump had just became president. I said I'll go buy a MAGA hat. You know what I'm saying? So I got the money, and probably I'll say at least 6 months or so straight. Like I was doing live streams, you could go check the content, and you know, golden age, I was celebrating President Trump's successes, and you know what I'm saying, doing the best that I can to represent the Trump administration positively. You know, I say probably Malu say the Epstein files. I don't know if it's the Epstein files, because listen, this is what I'm saying. As far as the Epstein files, yeah, there is probably some things in there that we could see where President Trump is mentioned, where we could just make an assumption. But what I'm saying is, and until they bring some real hard down charges on him, as far as the Epstein files, it's not that I'm giving him a pass. It's just that, like, I don't think in my mind, listen, I was wrong about this. You know, it wasn't a prediction, but I said I don't think no one will ever go to jail behind the Epstein files. Some of y'all might remember me saying that. I was completely wrong. Prince Andrew is probably going to end up catching charges or going to jail or something. You know, somebody's probably going to end up going to jail. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying for President Trump, I really, in my mind and my heart, I don't believe that President Trump is ever going to pay any price for anything that happened in the Epstein files. I think if there was a price for him to pay, and I've said this before, when President Biden was president, I think that was the time when he would have paid that price, because President Biden and them had access to everything that's in the Epstein files. They had access to that. They were looking to put charges on President Trump, and they never brought up the Epstein files, nothing to do, never brought charges on President Trump. So that being said, I personally believe that President Trump, you know, it's probably not nothing there outside of something that's embarrassing. Nah, Angelo, I'm not 0-2. I was waiting for you. First of all, the race has not been called. Angelo, put the link in the chat to show me that race has been called. She filing a lawsuit over that. She said they cheated, number one. Number two, Angelo, I'm glad you are in here today, because what I did was, you know, you kind of late. So, Angelo, I'm going to go ahead and post my predictions in the chat. Okay, Angelo, I predicted between 1.4 million and 2 million and 2.1 million people will vote yesterday in the Democratic primary. Those numbers are outrageous. Angelo, guess what? 2 million people voted. Angelo, I predicted that the winner needs at least 800,000 votes enabled for them to win. Guess what, Angelo? Both Jasmine and Tellerico got over 800,000 votes. Number three, I said that the Democrats were going to outvote the Republicans. Guess what, Angelo? The Democrats outvoted the Republicans. And the only fourth pick is fourth. I picked four. I have four predictions. Go look at the post on the Angelo, go to the page and go under the post section, and I posted it. You know what I'm saying? You got videos, you got shorts, live streams. After the stream, go under the post and see that I posted it. The fourth prediction, Angelo, is that she was going to win. That race is not over. She said they cheated. The Democratic Party, not just her, the Texas Democratic Party is suing because the Supreme Court shut the voting booths down at 7, and they were supposed to, in Dallas County, stay open till 9. So that race is not over, Angelo. But if he does win, Angelo, I'll accept my loss. I'm 3-1 in the Texas race. And the three picks that I did pick is something political analysts, wouldn't have picked, Angelo. Ain't nobody knew that 2 million people were going to vote. Ain't nobody knew the winner would need 800,000 votes. And y'all sure didn't know that the Republicans were going to get outvoted by the Democrats. Ain't nobody would have predicted that. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? But the formula worked. It worked for the Democrats. Everything worked, Angelo. It's just not enough black voters probably didn't show up to vote. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to just be real. Tellerico was courting white people and Hispanics, and he raised 25 million. Jasmine was courting black people, and she raised 5 million. That's just real. Tellerico was courting Hispanics and white people, and they showed up and voted. Jasmine was courting black people, and they do what black people do. They ain't spend no money on politics, and they ain't come vote. You see what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I'm saying I don't know who you blame for that. You can't blame nobody for that, but that's what happened. So we just got to call it a spade a spade. That's exactly how it went down. You know what I'm saying? Mason, yeah, listen, I'll say, to me, it's not about protecting a child molester. That's what I call them. Those of y'all who's talking about the Epstein files, y'all keep bringing that up. To me, it's not about protecting a child molester. It's about you needing proof. Listen, they got a lot of people's names in those files. Some people's names are just mentioned in those files, like just randomly. And some people's names are mentioned like they did something wrong against a child. You see what I'm saying? But because you were being accused by Jeffrey Epstein or by anybody, an accusation, that's what due process is about. You got to give people an opportunity to be able to defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that whole situation is about allowing someone or allowing people to have the opportunity to defend themselves. I'm not going to just arbitrarily accuse President Trump. I think, bottom line, his name being in the files, I think that's a bad look on him as it is, bad enough. But until someone can come with some hard down evidence, or if a female accuses him of doing something, can take it to court, and at least in the civil trial, she could get jurors to agree with her. Like, I mean, there's got to be something that comes that's harder than that in order for us to say that, you know, President Trump, yeah, he really did do something that you can hold against him. You know what I'm saying? Malu, going back to what you said, it wasn't a flipping on President Trump. I never flipped on him. Angelo in the live stream, he remembered when I said I was going to get that MAGA hat. I think he probably was one of the people, Republicans, him, and I think it was Colin and Brian C. that I made that promise to. If I got that $18,000 from the Treasury, which I did. and which I felt like I held down, you know what I'm saying, the Trump administration, you know what I'm saying, for a minute with them live streams. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's just basically over the time, just a couple of the policies and a couple of things that he was doing, the directions that he was taking was completely different than the direction that I would have took. It was completely different than the advice I was giving on the live streams. And that's what that came down to. And basically over a period of time, you know, it's like say for instance, it's like this. So in April, I put on a MAGA hat and I say I'm finna ride with President Trump. Okay. While I'm riding with President Trump on this live stream, Legal Wars Live, we do political analysis. So riding with President Trump, you know what I'm saying, say on the tariffs, I say I wouldn't put tariffs on my allies. And he put tariffs on the allies. Say if we talking about the Iranian war, I say I'll stay in the war. The longest I would be over there bombing is 4 or 5 days. 7 max. After 7 days, I wouldn't be bombing Iran no more. That's what if I said that. And I'm saying President Trump say he could stay indefinitely. You get that? It's like the advice or the things that I was saying, what I believed in, or how the direction I felt like he should have went in, he went the completely opposite direction. So I think that's more or less why, you know what I'm saying, you will see me maybe being critical. I think his advisors, his top advisors, need to be critical of what he's doing too as well. And I think you'll get better results overall if he was critical, if people were critical and they gave him the right advice and not instead of getting along or patting him on the back advice. Because I wouldn't be that kind of advisor that would just tell him something to stroke his ego. I'm going to tell him something so he could be great. You get that? I'm going to tell him something so it'll help America. I'm going to tell him something that he'll do that ain't no other president ever did that would be madly successful. That's what I'm going to tell him. Guys, yesterday I came on a live stream and I started talking about how the stock market was going to do worse. The content that I gave yesterday on the live stream was talking about how the stock market was doing pretty good. You see what I'm saying? But I made a post yesterday because after we did the live stream, when the markets opened, they reacted to the war and they reacted very negatively. And that's what I'm saying. That's one of the consequences that you got to pay. If you want to go fight a fight, if you want that chaos, if you want to fight a war when no Americans, listen, I could understand if they dropped a bomb in Hawaii, Honolulu. I could understand if they had a buildup of Iranian Revolutionary Guard troops in Mexico City. I could understand if they shot a rocket and one of their rockets fell right off of Long Island. You see what I'm saying? I could understand any of that. But with none of that being going on, I'm saying you trying diplomatic means to make a deal with Iran. See, listen, Israel and America are both attacking Iran. You take America out and you assert Israel, and let's use all of those. Has Iran shot rockets into Israel, Tel Aviv? Has Iran, are they outside of, they inside of Israel borders, not outside the borders. You see all that? So it make more sense for Israel. That's Israel's war. That's really Israel's problem. It's not that you can't be their ally, you can't help them and you can't back them up. But I'm saying backing them up is different than going out there like you declaring war on Iran. Because regardless of what you say, those American aircraft carriers have been off the coast of Iran for weeks. So you could blame this on Israel and say Israel is about to do A, B, C, and D, and maybe they were. Maybe you were right, but that's not how it looks to us. It looks like America sent aircraft carriers over to Iran because they were about to get into Iran's. You see what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. So we see the results of that. You want to go fight wars that might not be completely necessary today to the peace and security of the American homeland, then hey, the stock market gonna take a hit. You know what I'm saying? That stock market, I mean, not the 401ks, they taking hits. Somebody had made a comment on some of the content on YouTube and said that the Dow Jones ain't over 50,000. Yeah, you want to go fight wars, you want to go start wars. That's what happened. Dow Jones, yeah, it's dropping. It's going to continue to drop, just like I said yesterday. It don't matter if it had dropped over the weekend. It don't matter if it rebounded on the weekend. Excuse me, it's going to drop. Oil prices going to rise. That's what's going to happen. And I'm saying you're going to stay there indefinitely, and you done dropped 1,000 bombs in 3 days. And so 1,000 bombs in 3 days, if you listen, you coming out and you bragging. You saying I killed the supreme leader. So they leader gone dead. Bam. Gone dead. Bam. And 40 other people you killed. All right, that's cool. You killed their leader, just like you snatched Maduro. Okay, yeah. And then 2 or 3 days later, you talking about you dropped a bomb on a place where they gonna pick a new leader. What? See, it's starting to make sense to me. So you dropped 1,000 bombs in 3 days, and you saying you might be there indefinitely. You don't have a time where you will exit. You feel that? And then you didn't kill the leader, but then not really killed the leader. You got to kill the leader again, and then really and that's why it's going to be just like a same situation that happened in Iraq. They killed Saddam Hussein. What that stopped? They were still fighting the war for how long? And you ain't even got boots in the ground in Iran. So that tends me to think that you could kill as many leaders as you want to. That don't matter. You can have the strongest military you want to. That don't matter. We had the strongest military in the world in Afghanistan too. President Trump, what happened with that? We got the strongest military in the world in Iraq too. President Trump, what happened with that? That's what you don't understand. So, because you have the strongest military, listen, when you have the strongest military in the world and you want to boast that, you go do what you did with Maduro. That strategy that President Trump used with Maduro, that's the correct strategy to use when he going at any world leader. And I'll tell you why. You go to Maduro, you snatch Maduro, and you out just like that. You still got the aircraft carrier, Gerald F. Ford off the coast, but you gone. The new leader step up. So you get on the phone with the new leader, and you know what? You got the fear of God in this woman. Because she thinking if he could come snatch him in the middle of the night, he'll come snatch me in the middle of the night. So now you, one day, and insert diplomacy. Back up and insert diplomacy. That's what he did in Venezuela. I don't think that was his strategy. Because if that was his strategy, they would have executed it in Iran. You do the same thing you did in Venezuela. It costs a whole lot less money and it's a whole lot more effective. That was a flawless operation in Venezuela. I don't care if you afford it or not. It ain't. Listen, y'all could come after President Trump for a million things, but Venezuela ain't going to be one of them. He went to the court and got the documents. He all the way legal with that. That's what I'm saying. I heard he went to Congress, but I'm saying, like, that's how I'm a roll if I'm advising him. That's Malu. That's why we kind of seem like I'm in separate ways. It's because it's like, to me, like, not that he tuned in to Ghostwriter, or not that Ghostwriter is like Stephen Miller. But I'm saying, if I'm coming on the live stream and I'm giving content and I'm saying I'm going to do A, B, C, and D, this is the way I would do it, and he going a completely different way, I'm saying, I'm telling him, if you go that direction, what's going to happen? I'm telling you, in a sustained conflict, every bit of gain in that stock market, you going to end up wiping it all away. All your gains, you going to wipe it away. While you wiping away your gains, you spending $1 billion. You done spent $1 billion already on this war. Who gonna give you the money back? Israel gonna give you the money back? Iran gonna give you the money back. You gonna go steal Iran's oil and try to make the money back. You see what I'm saying? It didn't work out. This how you do it, Angelo, with Venezuela. This with Iran, you do it just like Venezuela. You kill their supreme leader, you kill some of their people, and you back up. And you try diplomacy again. And if diplomacy don't work, then you go back in and you kill the next wave of them and you back up and you try diplomacy again. You saving money, you risking less lives, less action and everything. You see what I'm saying? It's like President Trump. Maybe he can't control BB. That's why it won't work. That's why it didn't work. If I present the plan to BB and BB don't buy in on the plan, then BB, you want to be a cowboy, then you go get all them rockets shot into Tel Aviv and into Jerusalem. You do it then by yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's just so Angelo, I come out and say that if it was me, I wouldn't stay there, but you want to use the language like you'll be there indefinitely. That's what I'm saying. It's not that I got something against President Trump. It's just I come on a live stream and I say fire Greg Bovino and you fire Greg Bovino and you ain't got no more problems out of that. Besides doing what the Democrats want you to do with ICE, because you don't listen to that you didn't listen to that either. So now you in that pickle over there with the Democrats with ICE, with Kristi Noem. So try to save you fire Greg Bovino. So that situation gone, but you still got to deal for being hard-headed over there. So that's what I'm saying. Not that he got to listen to me, but you want me to rock with you because I'm saying I'm going to rock with the right move. And the right move in that situation is, no prolonged conflict. Just no prolonged conflict. Charlie Kirk said don't do it at all, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all know, he told y'all that. But what I'm saying is prolonged conflict. I understand President Trump's move and freeing the people and everything he's trying to do. I completely support that in my personal opinion. I support even going harder on him. In my personal opinion, but this ain't my personal opinion. This is a political professional opinion. In a political professional opinion, I see to start the war, 60% of Americans are against it. To start the war, you ain't went to Congress. To start the war, you not explaining nothing to the American people. How you want me to co-sign with that? When I'm sitting here saying it out my mouth and it's as easy as getting on the microphone and explaining and doing town, it's as easy as that. You're not doing it. You're doing what you want to do. Just like them candidates. They do what they want to do. It's their right. They in that position. But you're going to lose. That's all I'm saying. And even though yesterday morning, when I was talking about the stock market, I didn't know what was going to happen, but yeah, just like I said, just keep fighting. Go out there today. See, he said, what really got me is because he said, after I said what I said, no prolonged conflict, you want to come out there and say, 5-6 weeks or however long it takes. Oh, really? Oh, really? You forgot you got a stock market and you forgot these people aren't in favor of the war. You forgot that. So guess what's going to happen to your stock market? I told you about talking like that in March. I told you when you talk, you speak investments. When you talk tariffs, you talk investments. When you do this, you talk. But I told you how to do that in March of last year. But you want to come out and say that you're gonna stay in Iran indefinitely. Oh, okay, them investors. Oh, you finna fight a war like that? What? We thought this was the first term Trump. We thought this was the get money President Trump. Oh, you want to fight a war? Oh, you on that type of time? You on that John McCain, Lindsey Graham type of time? Oh, you on the George Bush stay and fight the? Oh, you on that type of time? Okay, well, we taking our money out. Why wouldn't we take the money out the stock market? AI bubble and everything. Because if it weren't for AI, we would see how good his economy really is. You know that 18 trillion he boasting in investments? Yeah, that's AI. You know that stock market high? Yeah, they investing in that AI. Y'all don't see that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying AI and everything, you want to go fight a war. Them people in Dubai getting rockets, missiles shot at them. You knew that was going to happen if you attacked them. Come on. Halfway prepare, you really can't stop it. You don't have enough. I'm saying, bro, over and over, we go here and we go there. And, bro, and that's why we go our separate ways, Angelo. It's not that I have nothing against President Trump personal. You could take it personal. You could call me names. You could get in your feelings. I don't even care. I ain't even going to roast him. I wouldn't even roast him. I look at him like Jasmine, I wouldn't even roast him. I feel sorry for him. Because you're a billionaire, but you want to be president, so you care about that a lot. His freedom rode on him becoming president. A lot rode on that. He made a lot of money because he won this election. So you care about that. But I'm in my car, though, and everybody laughing at me like I don't know what I'm talking about. But every time I tell you something and you do what I say, you win. When you do what I say, God said, Angelo, that if you make peace, he said that if you follow his commandments, he said even your enemies will be at peace with you. You have God, like I'm not on this live stream saying this in a situation to where a staffer could go here and go there and this could happen and it get back to it's not. This is God's design. It's his design. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to be productive, and Ghost is telling you this, and you a politician or you a candidate, if you want me to rock with you, you got to go with what I'm saying. If you with some goofy stuff, I'm going to let you have that goofy stuff and you going to lose. When I see a candidate, listen, if I start telling the candidate something and I see them acting goofy, I know they going to lose because they focused on the wrong thing. I tell a candidate that you gal power with Republicans, they don't even understand that. They don't even know what's going on. They don't understand what's going on. The Republicans had it in you from day one, Jasmine. Day one. I know how they get down. I know how they operate. And I promise you they ran at least 3 plays on you. And you don't even know what the plays are. You don't understand it. She ain't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I say this about politics, but legal, as far as legal stuff, I know what those fights are. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the trench right now in a battle with a rich man or rich men. You know what I'm saying? I know how they get down. They believe in that Trojan horse stuff. You see what I'm saying? The Republican, they gonna send a Democrat at you like they your friend, giving to your campaign. They'll donate to your campaign and everything and run you a complete cross on you. They don't want you to win. Real talk, y'all could say whatever y'all want to. I proved it yesterday. The Republicans didn't want her to win. Y'all don't know what go on behind the scenes. I do. I think she got a good idea, but she just thinking that these people, her friends, ain't nobody up there your friends. Every situation is adversary. Ain't none of them people your friends. Not for real. If that was your friends, then James Tellerico, he wouldn't even ran. When Jasmine announced he was going to run, he would have done just like Colin Ari done, and he would have backed down. But Tellerico said, nah, he going to get that nomination. He don't care. They anointed him. He went on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan said he should be the next president. I guarantee you Elon and them support him because they don't like Jasmine. Jasmine got on Elon. She done got on Governor Abbott. She done got on President Trump, and she did this for the Democrats. And y'all can't even cover her in a primary. And she doing all your dirty work. That's what I'm saying. It's us versus them. Ain't nobody on your side. Ain't nobody for you. You got to be for yourself. Real talk. That's on everything. Titan Brew, good morning. Good morning. If y'all haven't liked the video, y'all go ahead and double tap the screen for me. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Look, I thought she was going to win too. I don't know what's going to happen. You still don't. She don't know she not going to win, Angelo. That race ain't over. That race is in the court. A court is going to decide or help and decide that race. It's not over, Angelo. That's why I didn't finish putting the prediction. If she would have lost that race officially, Angelo, then I said I'm 3-1. Because that's why I said 3 out of 4 predictions. I got right. That 4th one, we don't know. And Angelo, if she mess around and win, now y'all going to be hurting 4-0. Because I'm saying, Angelo, all you got to do is just vote. Angelo, you not voting. But you're not making your pick, Angelo, off of skill. You just voting Republican. So this is a situation where the Democrats done won 34 years in a row worth of elections. So you just coming in and saying, hey, I'm a Republican anyway. I know this is a Republican stronghold. When you picking a Republican, that ain't no skill set, Angelo. You tell me 2 million people. You tell me as many people gonna vote in 2026 as did in 2028, in 2008. As many people gonna show up to the polls for Jasmine and Tellerico as showed up for Hillary and Obama. Now you tell me that before the voting starts, and then I'll give you some skill set. You tell me a precise number of votes. The reason why I told you how many people are going to vote and how many votes I need is because that's what I would have did if she would have hired me when she first hired me on December 15th. That's the first thing I would have did. And ain't nobody, I guarantee you, around her in the state of Texas or probably almost in America would have told you that many people would have voted. So who else could have done that for her but Ghost? If I knew 2 million people, if you need 800,000 minimum votes, then I'm saying I would have been working to assure that those 800,000 people were going to be at the polls. I wouldn't have ran my campaign like I was just out there and taking pictures and social media and relying on my popularity. If she made any mistake in that campaign, I think she relied on her popularity to win. And Tellerico rolled up his sleeves and he got down there in the sewer and he did the work. And I said this on the live stream. If y'all follow the content, I said you need volunteers. He went and got 13,000 of them. It's hard to beat that because when you need to mobilize, he got 13,000 people with him. And I'm saying you mobilizing with what? At the most, 1,000 people. At the most, he got 13,000. So he could expand. He don't just have to go for white people. He started working them Hispanics too, hard. It wasn't a Colbert thing that put him over the top. It went a lot more than that. Angelo, thank you for your donations. He said Jasmine couldn't get past the primary. Bro, listen, the black voters, they didn't show up. Angelo, she depended on them. They didn't show up. Angelo, Ghost told you 2 million people was going to vote. You got 2.4 million registered, not black people, registered black voters. You got more black voters than you got people who gonna vote. All I need is a third of them to show up and she wins. That's all I need is 33% of the registered black voters in the state of Texas, which is around 800,000 votes. And she wins. 2 million people vote. You got 800,000 people to vote, show up and vote for you. 80% of them voting for you. Y'all do the numbers. She wins. The black voters, she couldn't get them to show up. Angelo, she did all that for the Democratic Party, all that attacking President Trump, all that going at AG Bondi, all that going after, all that going after, all that going after. You did all of that. And them Democrats still pick a more soft-spoken, like polite, nice guy. They picked the nice guy. That's hard to believe. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that the establishment, they didn't pull some strings. It's hard for me to believe that it ain't no racism involved. It's hard for me to believe, but regardless of how hard it is for me to believe, one thing for certain and two things for sure, the black people didn't show up. She gambled on the blacks. They didn't show up for her, period. Tellerico on the white people and on the Hispanic people, and he raised 25 million. She going to black people for campaign donations, and she raised 5 million. Facts. That's facts. So, Tellerico, he was correct. Because those people in Texas, down on the southern border, who voted for President Trump, and they running back to the other side. Tellerico, it's not that they Republicans. I'm still right with what I'm saying. Them Hispanics you run down on the southern border, it's not that they're Republicans. They're Democrats. maybe independents. They're Democrats, but they all running back left. They all running back left, and Tellerico was just picking them off. He's saying he's trying to get Republicans and independents. That's not in the state of Texas. That's not what he did. That's not what he needed to win. He needed those Hispanics on that southern Texas border, specifically in the Rio Grande Valley. He needed those Hispanics, majority Hispanics. And you know what they did? As they coming back from the Republican side, they didn't make it all the way back far left enough to get to Jasmine. He was picking them off. He was picking them off. And that's what he did. And he got enough Hispanics. He pulled enough Hispanics to where, she needed that 33% turnout of black voters, the thin black line. It's risky. It's a gamble because they're low propensity voters. Most black voters are low propensity voters. Most black people don't vote. And most black people don't donate to campaigns. They might not have the money. So a lot of them do have the money. They don't donate to campaigns. A lot of black people you see donate to campaigns in the Republican Party. It's a lot of black people donate to Democrats, but I'm just saying the majority is in that other party. That's what happened, Angelo. It's just that simple. It ain't. I mean, you can shake it up, chop it up, bop it up. You know what I'm saying? If I run a campaign, I'm gonna run a campaign way more organized than that. Not saying her campaign wasn't organized, but I'm just saying, like, I'll put the infrastructure. It would have been way harder. I would have put that infrastructure together way better. I'm saying she could win. It's possible. But even if she don't win, Angelo, she came close enough to where with that strategy, the execution I'm saying that for her in her situation with less money that she had, you see what I'm saying? And she kept saying she had to get back to DC. I got to get back to DC. But y'all heard me on the live stream, baby girl, like, it ain't going to be no DC after January of 2026, 27, excuse me. You win this race right here, or you go home. You're going to be out of politics for I don't know how long until you pop back in. You win this race right here, or you out of politics. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene and like VP Harris. So you saying you got a job to do. I understand you got a job to do, and I feel that. But you got a race to win, too. Tellerico, he in the state, I guess, in Texas, the legislature probably only worked 3 months in the state house, so he got the time. And he been in that race, Angelo, since the summer. So he had a 5-month head start on him. That's why I kept saying match his energy. You know what I'm saying? Listen, even if you can't get voters, you got 9 HBCUs in the state of Texas. You could go to them HBCUs and you could do rallies or you could sign up. Y'all need to be signing up volunteers. Listen, all she needed is one ghost. And she ain't got to pay me that much money. I promise you, them people she got around her, they not going to do nothing that I would do. Because if I'm telling y'all this stuff, I do not know. It's so much more, especially if you paying me. I'm giving you about 25%, maybe 27. On a good day, I might give you 45%, not even half of how hard I could go. I could go dumb. I'm saying me by myself. I don't need nobody or maybe one person. You could give me one assistant. And I'll take that assistant and I promise you, and I'll start at Texas State. And I'll go to Texas State, bro. I was doing it myself. I'm talking about no money or nothing. Political science program at Texas State. I think I was looking at Prairie View. Political science program at Prairie View. You see what I'm saying? All I got to do is get in touch with one of the doctors, put me into one of the organizations, political science organization, tell them Jasmine coming. And all we need to do is sign up volunteers. And I'm going to do that at every HBCU. I'm going to sign up volunteers. And I'm going to get as many of them signed up as I possibly can. And I could do that. I could have did that myself. I would have had like 5,000 of them. Because I was going to identify those, whether you got data sheets or not. Y'all expecting me to come on and try to do some Anderson Cooper CNN and give you all these stats and stuff that all she got to do is watch the live stream and she could go win. Nah, it's a debacle. I'm not getting paid. Angelo paying me. He ain't even, like, you see what I'm saying? Angelo paid me today. I'm not getting paid. So it's supposed to be a debacle. What I'm supposed to get, what you're supposed to get for free. You see what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a debacle. So that's what you got. That's what you get as far as the numbers. But those strategies and my predictions are on point. I did those predictions. I still not giving 100%. But, I knew I was going to stand on them predictions down below. And like Angelo in here trying to clown on me, I put my neck out there for Jasmine. I really did. But I started getting bad feelings about a day or two ago. They kept coming out with polls. Emerson had a poll. I'm talking about people dropping polls that wasn't in his campaign. And they dropping polls like before the election, and it's showing him winning by 5, by 7. When I started seeing them polls, that last Emerson poll that I seen, it's just something inside of me said, man, I didn't have a good feeling about it no more. Not no more. And I'm saying, hey, what happened is what happened. She ran the campaign like she ran the campaign. You had to execute the strategy. She says she wants to turn out voters. She don't want to do a traditional campaign. She want to do it by like her name or whatever like that. I mean, all right, well, this is the way you win it. You got to go get them black people. Because you not campaigning for the white people. He campaigning for white people. You probably ain't, and he a white boy. You probably ain't going to beat him with white people. He campaigning for the Latinas, and it's something about, let me tell y'all something about politics. Y'all can understand the mind of a voter. Ghost could school you guys. When a Latina, they're coming here from a foreign country. See, y'all think I'm racist, but y'all need someone like me in y'all corner because I'm gonna just bulldoze over all kind of stereotypes, Democrat, Republican, any line. I'm gonna just erase the lines, and I'm gonna give you a clean strategy board, and I'm gonna come with the real. The real is Latinas. They come over here from their foreign country. Most of the Latinas in Texas, though, they're not immigrants. Like, yeah, they're like second, third generation. So what I'm saying is they looking at this white boy and they looking at Jasmine. And 9 out of 10 times, if a Latina got to pick between a white person and a black person for a political election, it's not like they're not voting between a Democrat and a Republican. That's something completely different. They're voting on a white person and a black person, and you asking a Latina. And if it's a politically related, go do your fact. Go research. Now I'm telling you what I know. If it's politically related, Obama was different. You see what I'm saying? That's a Republican and a Democrat. That's different. See, they both Democrats. They both feel about the same way. So it ain't no really policy differences between them. It's one's black and one's white. One could be elected and one can't be elected according to them. She can't win a statewide election. So the Latinas, and I kind of know that's what's gonna happen, especially if you're not organized and you can't turn them. Because he out there turning voters. He flipping them. People saying that they never voted before. He out there getting people that said that they crying, saying they want to vote for Jasmine. Tellerico out there, he pouring a potion on them. I got 13,000 volunteers, Ghost. We got a people power movement. Everything, if you go listen to Jasmine for Texas 1, 2, and 3, almost everything I said verbatim, he said he was doing that in his campaign. had over 200,000 individual donations. 200,000 and some individual donations. But I'm saying you can't hate Jasmine for her strategy. He ain't beat her by 10. He ain't beat her by 15. We don't even know if he beat her at all. So we might come back in 5 days or a week and it might be something totally different. We don't know he beat her at all. But I'm saying if he did beat her, I'm telling you these are the reasons why. And if he did beat her, I'll take that L. I'll take the L. But y'all see down below, the stuff that really mattered down below in that chat, I got it right. NTZ Claus, thank you for that donation, baby. He says, we can't let Angelo be the only one towing the line. Shout out to Angelo. Shout out Angelo. He ain't the only one towing the line. Angelo, a big dog in this stream. That's why he come in here and do and say what he want to say, because he know he a big dog. Angelo, how much money have you donated to this live stream before? Since 2024. Angelo been dropping money in the chat since 2024. It's 2026. Just like Miss Lori. Just like Brian C. NTZ Claus, they've been dropping money in that chat since 2024. He a big dog. He know he is. He always challenged me. I don't have no problems with him. Angelo, no, because that's how we get down. You know what I'm saying? He came in here with that with President Trump. I don't have nothing against President Trump. It's just the direction. Listen, I'm a litigator, and I'm a very good one. And President Trump and now, like, everybody could be privy to that information. If y'all know my first and last name, my business name of Miller Ray Legal LLC, you know that all you need is case numbers. And if you go back and look at all my cases since 2024, before that, about September of 23, because I didn't write no cases really in 2025. That's why I'm in this situation. I went 14 months without litigating no case. But you look at the case about 2023, about after September, I had a case dismissed that I went to the appeals court and won, and then filed in state court and got paid off of it and then dismissed it. But that's what I'm saying. After September, you look at all those cases in the appeals court. I filed the appeal. The judges came, they ruled on it. They said, okay, Ghost, we going to send the case back to Austin. They sent the case back, a limited remand. That's how I got the win. So once he sent that case back and that case get back to Austin, then I'm saying, like, in the middle of that, I filed a state case. But if you look on the record, I filed a motion to dismiss. What you saying, Ghost? I'm saying every single case since September 2023. I'm talking about the boy won 6 cases in a row. You go look at the record, they all motions to dismiss. And the reason why I'm filing a motion to dismiss is I got paid. That's the only reason I'm going to dismiss a case arbitrarily. In the middle of the case, I can't tell y'all about it because I signed non-disclosure agreements, but bro, I got paid on all them cases. You say, Ghost, what you talking about? What I'm trying to tell you, if I'm that confident in my skill as a litigator, it's like that advice I'm giving you, that legal advice, you know I know politics just or good or better than I know the law. I'm not even a lawyer. And I'm beating lawyers, winning appeals court. So you know I'm good at what I do. You know my advice good. You understand. They hear my advice. I say fire Gomer Powell. The next day Gomer Powell fire. You see the results. What's the results of that? What problem you had in Minnesota since then? What problem you had in Minnesota since you put Tom Homan there? Tom Homan should have been there in the first place. You shouldn't have that clown out there in the first place. That's why them people getting killed. Because you got a clown out here and wearing an Adolf Hitler jacket with a Gomer Powell haircut. That's what the problem is. Angelo, I can't ride with that. Angelo, I can't ride with you telling the American people that we going to be here 5 to 6 weeks or maybe even longer. I can't ride with that. Because that's why your stock market hit the ground. Because if ghosts say that you need to be there for a week or less, you could be there for 5 or 6 weeks, not longer. But if you stay for 5 or 6 weeks, don't come out saying that to the American people because your stock market is already going to go down. We just trying not to for you to lose $3 trillion. That's what Ghost trying to do. And I ain't got one penny in that stock market, but that's going to kill you, President Trump, politically, just like Charlie said. That ain't no hate, that's love. Ain't nobody around him going to tell him what he need to hear. We see that. That's why his approval rating's so low. But Ghost will. So all somebody got to do is come tap in with Ghost and go back and run and tell him and you Gucci. That's all I'm saying. You don't need to be in Iran for I don't want that stock market to go back to 44,000 points. If that happened, President Trump, you through. Because he not George Bush. Y'all got to understand that. He got convicted of 34 felonies. And the people, we know we gave you a chance. He think we don't know we gave him a chance. They think the American people are stupid. That's one of the biggest problems. Angelo, we gave him a chance. We gave him a second chance to come back in here and to try to make our country good, great, and help us too. That's what I'm saying. But you choosing to go to war. And I'm saying all them people put that money in that stock market. That stock market dropped back down to 44,000. That index, that Dow Jones, you know how many trillions of dollars they finna lose. People 401k, all that gains he made. Why make the gains if you got to retract? And I'm saying if you got to go fight Iran because they got ships off the coast of Miami, I could see you in Cuba and you got missiles aimed at America. Yeah, President Kennedy, if you got to fight Russia or Cuba, then that's different. Ain't no Iranian missiles aimed at America. Iran wasn't finna get no nuclear bomb, and Iran didn't have no missile that could hit America. So you could say that you attacked them because of Israel, whatever it is that you did. I'm not all the way against it. As a matter of fact, President Trump, I ain't against none of it. Good job. You got rid of the crazy dude. But what I'm saying is what you don't realize, President Trump, every day you spending millions, every week you spending billions of dollars. You are doing what George Bush did, and you are in a forever war. And I found that out on day 3 after you dropped 1,200 bombs and you said you got to be here longer than 6 weeks. What that's telling me is the same thing going to happen there that happened in Iraq. You going to get in a situation with a war. I don't care how powerful your military is. You're not going to be able to win it. It's not going to stop. You say, oh, I'm not going to fire the Iranian. You're not going to fire the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Well, why are you telling the people to go take control of their institutions? Yeah, you trying to get rid of the military and the police. Because we're the military. These are military and police who killing the citizens by the tens of thousands. Last protest, they killed 35,000 people. So I'm saying these the same police that's killing the people, and President Trump, you telling the people to go take over that institution. So you must be getting rid of the police and the military. Even if you don't, y'all got to put boots on the ground to control anything in that country. You already said you wasn't. If you did, I'm saying whatever you got going, it's not a good situation. That's Israel's problem. Let Netanyahu spend millions of his dollars thinking that he gonna eradicate Hamas. All that's gonna happen is within 2 years, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna be getting attacked again. This been going on, I'm talking about for thousands of years. You ever heard of the Crusaders? What you think is different? Who wearing the crosses on their chest now? That's the Americans and the Jews and the Israelis. They've been fighting for, no, let me take that back. The Muslims and the Jews fought for thousands. They fought for about 6,000 years of written history. Since the Bible days almost, they've been fighting. The Christians came. You know what I'm saying? When the Christians came, that was primarily Catholics. The Crusaders, they from Europe. And I'm saying from Europe, even coming from Europe, y'all, listen to me now, coming from Europe, they've been fighting the Muslims for thousands of years. BB ain't finna do something that ain't thousands of leaders before him tried to do. BB, you gonna be fighting them if you kill them all, BB, you think you kill them all. Within 3 years, it won't be an ISIS, it'll be a TISIS. Here we go again. Yep, it's forever, ever. As long as this world is going to end with that conflict in the Middle East with a nuclear weapon, that's how it's going to end. That war is going to be fought until the world ends. You could get a little peace and stability in the meantime. Netanyahu would think he finna eradicate. That's why they say he committed genocide, because he think he finna eradicate the Muslims out. This dude, he done lost it. Thank you for that donation, baby. Somebody said bad prediction. It probably was. Yo, I can't make a bad prediction. Golly. Come on now. I'm on a vertical live feed, y'all, and I predicted 2 million people will vote in the Democratic primary. That's more people, or as many people that voted for Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And we know Jasmine and we know Tellerico ain't no Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton. But Ghost predicted that there were as many people gonna vote as voted for the presidents. Ain't nobody else predicting that. I said the winner need 800,000 votes. Both of them got 800,000 votes. Come on, man. I said the Democrats were going to outvote the Republicans. That never happens. Who could have predicted that? Nobody would have predicted that but Ghost. Come on, ask Angelo. That's how I predict the football team. Same thing. So you give me one prediction saying Jasmine was going to win, and we see some discrepancies in that. We see some cheating in that, like that Colbert situation. Like the polls supposed to be open till 9, but then the Supreme Court said they got to close at 7. And now she's suing, and the Texas Democratic Party suing. So we don't know how that's going to turn out. So how is that a bad prediction? And then it's like I cannot predict everything perfectly. Y'all want me to be perfect, and none of y'all are perfect. Y'all want me to be mistake-free like I'm Jesus, and ain't none of y'all mistake-free. That's what I'm saying. When you see the predictions, I put it in the chat, the predictions that I did predict, you should have said, oh, well, anybody could have predicted Tellerico was going to win, and you got a 50-50 shot. You ain't got to know nothing about politics. Here's his Tellerico, tails is Jasmine, flip the quarter. If it lands on heads, you got lucky. You can't get lucky predicting 2 million people gonna vote, and 2 million people don't never vote in that Democratic primary. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. When Beto ran, I think it was like 1.2 million. In 2022, if I'm not mistaken, it might have been like 1 million. But I'm saying in 2024, it went down. I hadn't seen since 2018 1.5 million Democrats. I don't think that many Democrats vote in the presidential years. They don't vote in the presidential primaries like that. Not in the Democratic Party, they don't. I ain't seen no Democrats voting like that, man. That's on everything, but I predicted that. But I can't predict everything, right? You know what I'm saying? I thought she would have won. She should have won. There ain't no reason why she shouldn't have won. I'm saying if you pick a certain strategy, you got to get the right execution with that strategy. If your execution wrong, then listen, if it's 3rd down and 3, y'all don't know football, maybe some of y'all know football is 3rd down and 3. And all you need is 3 yards, but you call a play trying to get 40 yards when all you need is 3. Hey, you call the play, you run the play. If you're successful, you're successful. But if you're not successful, you're not successful. She wasn't successful in the play she ran, man. That's all it is. She was counting on the black voters. This is a black female, okay? This strategy worked in Georgia, where they energized black voters. The Texas black voters, the Hispanics. That's the problem. And I'm saying there's more Hispanics, and I'm saying, like I said, those Hispanics in South Texas, they ready to come back to the Democratic Party. Those Hispanics in South Texas, they ran to President Trump. He got a 14-point win. The pendulum swinging back. Them Hispanics in South Texas, they on the pendulum, they swinging back to the Democratic Party. They not Republicans. I don't think they're independents. I think they were Democrats who voted for President Trump. And they came back. And so Jasmine, she needs to drive up the black vote where she winning 90%, 80 to 90%. She get 33% of black voters, she win. They ain't showing up. They not donating to her. What's she supposed to do? She a black candidate. She don't count on the black vote. Because like I said, they both Democrats. So you giving a Hispanic a choice between a white man and a black woman. And then Tellerico and them spending millions saying she can't win, she can't win, she can't win. They stroking that stuff in the back of their mind. A Hispanic person come to America, you don't think they see the same thing that the black people see? They see the same thing. It's a white man's world. It's a white man. So why wouldn't they vote for the white man? They figure white people know what they doing. It's a white people country. They foreigners, really. Even second, third generation, they mama speaking straight Spanish. Their grandparents don't speak no English. Real talk, though. I'm telling you what I know. So I'm saying in this country, they see the same thing we see. This is a white man's world. Okay? You got a black girl and a white man on the ticket. And then you got Tellerico and them in the background running commercials. She can't win. She can't win. She can't win. What I'm saying, so them Hispanics along the southern border in Texas, all of them that voted for President Trump, that pushed the electric in Texas to the right, it was a false reading. Because y'all see, more Democrats voted than Republicans. I understand that. I know them Hispanics. I was thinking that it might be a wash. If she would have ran the campaign with the volunteers, like he fundamentals, you know what I'm saying, instead of running the campaign like she doing, if she would have ran the campaign, she would have done better with Hispanics. And she doing better with Hispanics, she would have won. Because obviously the black voters, I mean, they did the best they can, but the turnout was too low. You need 33% of that electorate to be black for her to win, for me to know she was going to win. If the ordinary turnout is 20 to 25%. So regular turnout for black voters in the Democratic primary when it's high is at 25%. You got to push it to 33. It's 20 to 25. So this year, black turnout might have been 20%. You got a black, successful, gorgeous female on the ballot. Get all the black people to come. I'm saying the campaign she ran, she 5 months behind them. She $20 million behind them. That's the best chance she had to win, is to get those black voters to go vote. They didn't show up. I can't predict everything right, y'all. Y'all got to give me credit for what I did predict right, though. What I did predict right wasn't the easiest thing to predict. That's all I'm saying. Y'all, if y'all like the video, you know what I'm saying? Y'all please like the video. If you haven't liked the video, subscribe to the channel. And make sure y'all hit that notification bell, guys. We've been streaming for about an hour and a half, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the love that you guys are giving me on the live stream. You know what I'm saying? And guys, y'all give me just a second and I'll be right back. Y'all know this is a Wednesday, man. I didn't get to charge my phone that good. It's still on the charger right now. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the love and support. I'm going to kick it with y'all for a few more minutes or however much longer, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll do the outro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all want me to come back live again later, I will, man. You know what I'm saying? I just got to handle a couple of little business. It ain't too much, but I will come back live and give y'all that time, man. I appreciate the love and the support from you guys, man. I wanted to talk about it being us versus them, man. That's what I really wanted to talk about. That's that tax to rich. That's the kind of live streams coming. But I owed y'all a viewer's choice stream, so that's why I decided to go ahead and just let y'all rock out with what y'all wanted to rock out. I figured because we did 8 Jasmine for Texas episodes that y'all want to talk about that election, you know what I'm saying? And the midterms is just now starting, so I could understand why we want to talk about the election. It is important, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the midterms just now starting. So, yeah, man. I just wanted to make it clear, though. I made 4 predictions. And that 4th prediction, it's not like I just lost it outright. You see what I'm saying? Me predicting 2 million people were going to vote, I could just lose that outright. I didn't lose that. That's the hard one. Me predicting 800,000 votes the winner needs, I could lose that outright. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Beto O'Rourke, he won in 2018. He had 600,000 votes. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's more voters than usually vote in the Texas Democratic primary. Me predicting that the Democrats were going to outvote the Republicans, that's just insane. You know what I'm saying? That's just letting you know that I know what I'm talking about. All the way, no. Me predicting Jasmine was going to win, I'm wrong with who I want to win. Like I said, that's a coin flip. If I'm running her campaign and I lose, then that counts against me. Angelo, I ain't running her campaign. That's just like what President Trump doing. Like, if I'm on his staff or in his cabinet or one of his advisors to a cabinet member or to him, and I give him advice and that advice don't work, I count that as an L. But the advice I give him, all the advice I give him, it ain't no L's in that. It's L's for going against it. If you stay in Iran for 5 to 6 weeks, that's going to destroy you politically. If you stay in Iran for 5, it ain't going to just destroy you politically. It's going to hurt your legacy as well. All them gains in the stock market, I believe you could lose them all within 6 weeks. For real, I think that stock market, just like I predicted it was going to hit 50,000, I'm talking about I predicted that when it was at 46,000, the Dow Jones Index. I predicted it was going to hit 50. Just like I predicted it was going to hit 50, I'm predicting it's going to hit 45 if you stay there for 6 weeks. Now, hey, come out and announce and say you're going to stay there till November. I could be sick, I could be crazy, I could be anything you want me to be. The truth going to remain the same. Regardless of what you call me, regardless of how you feel, the truth gonna remain the same. If you stay there for 6 weeks, that Dow Jones going to 45,000 points. Look down in the chat. Democrats gonna outvote the Republicans. You get it? They think because I'm in this car or something, like they not understanding it. You gotta listen to what if you don't listen to what I'm a type, I'm so confident in what I'm telling you, I'm gonna say them words and I'm gonna turn around and walk off. I ain't gotta pick up the phone and call nobody. Because if you go against what I'm telling you, I'm gonna just be laughing. Let them stay there for 6 weeks. Let them drop bombs every day for 6 weeks. I'm talking about some of them trillions you got in investments, you going to end up spending some of that money. Your stock market going to hit the ground. Gas prices going to hit the roof. And when you finish, Iran going to still be Iran. Ain't nothing going to change. That civilization was there before America. I believe in history. I understand how it works. It's like y'all don't for some reason. You know what I'm saying? T2, what's up, baby? Guys, if y'all haven't liked the video, y'all go ahead, make sure y'all double tap the screen. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, guys. If y'all don't know, I'm out here in the Hudson Valley, NYC metro area. I've been up here, guys, for what? Long time. You know what I'm saying? They done forgot, though. You know why they sitting there at their house living their same boring old life? They must have forgot, though. I'm really out here on the tour. I'm really out here on a year vacation, y'all. I'm really finna, you know what I'm saying? Guys, y'all, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the donations, man. I'm going to just prop this up. It's fog out there on the Hudson, but I'm going to just prop it up. Let all my nature lovers get a little bit of love. Let them know, guys, that very soon, that tour going to be starting. We're going to start doing live streams for that tour next week. Outside live streams. I'm gonna be bringing y'all content like this, but it's not gonna necessarily be from this place. Y'all know how we do it when we do the tours, new locations. We probably gonna start it out here on the East Coast, man. You know what I'm saying? Might hit up Vermont, might hit up Massachusetts, might hit up Rhode Island. You know what I'm saying? And then we gonna sprint out west, baby. Tax the tours coming soon, baby. Man, boy, I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all showing up, man. Showing love, man. You know what I'm saying? This is just a little live stream. I wanted to come out here, man. I wanted to show some love to y'all, man. The election season started. Y'all know I was supporting Representative Crockett. You know what I'm saying? But like I told y'all, man, you know what I'm saying? We just got to wait and see what happens, man. You know what I'm saying? That being said, guys, I'm a Christian. I love God. I believe that Christ is King. I believe that Jesus suffered, bled, and died on the cross for our sins. I believe the blood that he shed washes away our sins. I believe if you accept Christ as your Savior, he's the only way to heaven. Christ is King. Every day I wake up, I say, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all look out for me later on today, man. I might come on, jump on for a couple of hours, man. Legal Wars Live, baby. We live in the morning for sure, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Angelo, man, I appreciate y'all, baby. I'll see y'all next time.